Hey guys, figured I'd do an update video here on the GT. I got pretty much exactly 300 miles on this thing now, and out for a nice ride. Figured I'd talk about it. So, my impression on this as time has gone on, and this is even with changing out the Footpad sensor. So we'll get into basically all of it. Going back and hopping on the Pint X after riding this GT for so long, it almost made the Pint X feel like a toy. The Pint X has a good amount of power, a good amount of torque. Just doesn't have the speed and the ability to keep it upright as well. So, back in my previous video, with me and my son riding on the Smoky Mountains there was a period during that time where me and my son were riding, we weren't videoing, just enjoying the rides, and I sped up to about, 15 miles an hour probably ahead of him. Well, he decided to speed up on the Pint X to catch up to me. He hit about 17.8 miles an hour, and he got pushback and an immediate dump. So he had his first crash, which was unfortunate. We were way on vacation and he had to deal with that. But he got right back up like a champ and kept going. Luckily he didn't get hurt too bad. Just some road rash. But that's around the same speed when I crashed on the thing. So it does not have the ability to keep going. And the pushback on it is awful. The fact that you get pushback and then immediate dump, the whole point of pushback, from my understanding, is it's supposed to be a warning. Like, hey, slow down, you're about to get dumped. Well, it doesn't give you the chance to slow down. So that on the Pint X is crappy. So it would be great if somehow they even put the safety beep on it to let you know prior to even pushback. Even like here, riding on the levee here, there's a lot of seams in this where you can feel the power of the GT, where if I'm going fast enough, I'll hit these bumps and you'll actually hear the tread break loose, and I'll actually chirp the tire a little because there's that much power behind this board. At no point have I got to a point where I felt like I was going to go down on this thing. I take this board places where I would not feel comfortable doing it with the Pint X because I have more confidence in its ability to stay upright at a higher speed and to maintain that higher speed. In fact, I've had this thing up to 20-ish miles an hour and still haven't even hit the safety. I'm not one of these guys who's going crazy trying to get crazy high speeds and be a lunatic on this board. So I haven't even hit that safety. The only time I heard the safety beep was in the Smoky Mountain video where the board overheated. Now, going back to that with the overheating, it wasn't that hot of a day. The hills were pretty intense, so I was taking them at a decent speed. That was the only time that ever happened, and we continue to ride those type of really steep mountains that entire trip. So I don't know if it's a fluke, I don't know what the deal was with overheating that time, but just because of that one time overheating, it's not that I would not suggest this board anymore. So I still have great confidence in this board when it comes to hills and everything else. The Pint X, I was shocked at how well that kept up with the GT when it came to hills. Wasn't able to do it as fast, but it had the torque and the power to push up most of the same hills that this one. In fact, well, I'm saying most. In fact, it pushed up every hill that this thing. So, and we pushed the limits. It couldn't, again, do it as fast, but it still did it. I do think the Pint X has a place maybe in a more of a city atmosphere where you're going to be weaving in and out of people more often. The GT's pretty capable of that as well. You got definitely a lot more range on this. You could easily make 30 some miles that's rated on this thing, especially when you're going on flat land like you're seeing here, or you're trail riding or flat path riding. So you won't have really any issues with that. The Footpad. So I changed out the Footpad. I saw tons of horror stories on changing out and people breaking the connector. It was not a comfortable process. So I took the old one off. That was easy. OneWheel sends you all the tools needed to do it. They even send you a little wrench to grab onto the connector and pop it off really easily. The video and the instructions that come with it is fine enough. One thing they show, which I thought was kind of crazy, is you can lean the Footpad sensor back onto the tire as you're disconnecting. I didn't have enough room on my cable to do that. So what I did is I reached up from underneath the board, because you take the bumper off and you can see the connector from the top and bottom, and that was the easier way for me to get to the connector. I didn't do a video of me changing out the Footpad because I was afraid I might break it on video. I just wanted to focus on getting it done correctly. The connector, when reconnecting, you're supposed to feel this like click into place. I didn't really feel that at all, which sucks. It makes me hesitant and concerning that this connector is somehow going to back itself out. I don't think that's going to happen. What I ended up doing was I tightened it, to a certain point, and then I tried to untighten it with my fingers, and I got it to the point where eventually I got it tight enough where I think I might have felt a little bit of a slide into place, and I could not loosen it with my fingers. And I've been riding it. I'm hitting some bumps. I've been hitting trails. So far, no problem. It does make the Footpad a lot more sensitive. So if you're going at a slow rate and you aren't even really lifting your foot up, if you're going really slow and say you're turning and it feels that pressure come up off the Footpad, it cuts out. So you're not going to have ghosting issues. It's just you got to get used to the new Footpad and how sensitive it is. I don't mind it. I'm used to it now. Let's see. Tire. I like the tire. I don't have a problem with the treaded tire from the GT. The one that comes with it, factory. Yeah, it's a rough ride. It's not real squishy. I keep mine around 15 psi. I think it's good. I would definitely suggest it over to the slick, even for riding on the road. It's not that loud of a tire. The tread doesn't give me that kind of noise. I live in the country where there's 4 seasons here. Now I have situations where I'm riding through areas where there's a ton of leaves and other debris on the road. So it's great to have that extra traction that this tire provides. Now, a little while ago was my birthday. My wife ordered me the Enduro tire. Still waiting to get it, but I will end up putting that on. I'm going to still try to get 1,000 miles at least on this tire even before I change it out. Because honestly, I'm a little nervous about taking this board apart and screwing the board up. But eventually I will be putting that on, then I'll be able to give you information on that. I still haven't got the front bumper with the wheels on it. I'm kind of waiting. I saw a prototype of the Land Surf fang fenders for the GT, and they have bigger wheels, kind of like that at Carvin Smith. And to be honest, they look nicer. So I'm waiting on that. Let's see. If at any point you think you're going to upgrade to the GT, just go straight for it. It's worth the extra money. You're going to get more out of it. and I think you're gonna have an easier time selling it if you decide this isn't for me. I'm not gonna ride this. Are there issues compared with, say, the XR with Future Motion? Yeah, there's the right to repair issues. You're not able to disconnect the battery on this thing without breaking the board. There's a lot more aftermarket accessories right now for the XR and the Pint than there is the GT, but eventually that's going to change. The fact of the matter is the XR is no longer in production, and the stock on them are going to dry up. And as that dries up, you're going to see less and less aftermarket support for them, because there's less and less of those boards out there and more GTs. So then you're going to see more aftermarket support for the GT. So, you know, right now, that's something maybe to consider, because I know Future Motion put out there that they do have a few XRs for sale that you can buy. But I'd still go with the GT, even though the GT is more expensive. I have not ridden an XR, so I can't give you a direct comparison between the XR and the GT. But from other videos online, which there's a ton, including ones put out there by Float Life themselves, it seems as though the GT has a heck of a lot more torque, the capability of climbing up hills than the XR. And I bet you even the Pint X has a better capability of climbing up hills. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed with this. I'll try to get you a quick look at the tire. Like I said, I have almost exactly 300 miles on this thing. Really not much wear yet on it. It's wearing pretty evenly. And yeah, still loving the thing. Been putting miles on it every day. I think I'm on 33 days straight riding this thing without missing a day. Love it. Like everything, you're gonna find some sort of issue if you look hard enough. The new sensor, yeah, I'm already used to it. It's definitely different, definitely has problems. Not problems, but you got to get used to it being more sensitive. It is easier to stop. Let's see. I guess that's really about it. I like this board so much that, you know, my son's actually on the fence about selling our Pint X and getting himself a GT. Just for the pure fact that it's a heck of a lot harder because of the power, the torque, and the capability to nosedive on this thing. You're not pushing it to an extreme rate. And having that sense of comfort with this board is huge. So, don't think I missed anything else. If there's something else you guys can think of, hit me up in the comments below. I want to thank you guys for watching these videos. You know, I've been getting a lot of views. It'd be great if I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, get some more video here, and get some more support from you guys, so that maybe I can get into some other stuff to review here. But either which way, I want to thank you guys. If you do like this video, if you find any of this stuff helpful, please like and subscribe. Share these videos if you find it helpful. And again, comment below with anything. I do try to get back to you guys as quick as possible. Doing all this on an iPhone, just starting off simple, but ultimately, you know, I'm your simple nobody trying to help you, somebody, figure out if you should spend your money on this stuff, because it's not cheap. Otherwise, stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you again soon.